Now, what in the Carnival is going on here? The Carnival Cruise Line itself has done nothing wrong, and in fact, they aren't really involved too much in this topic, other than the fact that a passenger that had to deal with a very painful conundrum just happened to be sailing on board a Carnival ship. Believe it or not, there was a young man that unfortunately got bitten by a monkey while in a cruise port. And I think this is important to talk about because while we are still in the middle of summer, you have a lot of passengers that are first-time cruisers, inexperienced to traveling and in these ports, and while they're doing things like excursions and seeing all the pretty things, they can get a little careless. Quickly, before we start monkeying around with this topic, I do want to briefly address the cruise ship in the room. As many of you know, I am currently sailing on the world's newest cruise ship, the Norwegian Viva. And yesterday I put out a very thorough, in-depth, detailed cruise ship tour, and well, you guys seem to like it. The reviews of the video itself have been positive. However, there are a portion of people that think this is a review, and a lot of people are saying I've been bought by NCL and I'm only saying good things. It is a cruise ship tour, so no fluff, no details, no criticisms. It is just a video that I thought you guys may find valuable. The review that I'm going to be doing will be at the end once this cruise is concluded after I fly back home to Miami. So just be patient. That's coming out because I do, of course, have a lot to say talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly of my time here on board this brand new cruise ship. So we had a family that was recently sailing on board the Carnival Vista cruise ship, and one of their ports of call was Roatan Island over in Honduras. They decided to take an excursion, and their excursion was to a resort known as the Henry Morgan. Pretty popular for a lot of cruisers to go and just have a giant deal where they can eat and drink till their heart's content. Over on the beach, there was a monkey named Shakira. I wonder if its hips lied. Anyway, this is not an uncommon feat that you would see over in Caribbean islands. You go to a place like St. Kitts, they have monkeys and all types of exotic animals out for you to take a photo with and pet and hang out with and potentially even feed. The problem here is that when you see these beautiful exotic animals, whether it's a bird like a bald eagle or a macaw or something like a monkey, oftentimes they do not belong to the resort. So that means the animal and their handlers, they may not be random as people around the area may know them. However, there is no real way to gauge how trained that animal may be. And regardless of that fact alone, we are still talking about wild animals. So unfortunately for the passenger that was sailing on board the Carnival Vista with their family, they claimed that their son got bitten in the ear by the monkey. And it was so bad that when they got back to Galveston, Texas, where the ship was home ported at, and they went to the hospital, her son had to be treated for rabies. The reality is that for animal lovers like myself, whenever we see animals, we can't help but want to get as close as we can as possible. Of course, unless it's like a lion or something like that. Like for example, I'm in the Mediterranean right now, and just a couple seconds ago, I saw some whales. I can't tell you what type of whale they are. They look like fin whales over here in the Mediterranean, and I honestly almost jumped in there and swam with the guys. I'm joking, but I did go and run over there like a child and just watch and watch and watch. I understand that it is tempting to want to go as close to an animal as possible, and if you see another human handling that animal, you just naturally assume it's safe, and that isn't always necessarily the case. When you go to places like the Caribbean, you gotta understand in some of these places, monkeys and exotic animals and iguanas are just native, and it is a normal part of that area. You take Sally, Joe, and their 5-year-old child from Montana that has never seen such a creature, and they naturally freak out. And I would always say that for a lot of people, whenever they are traveling for the first time on something like a cruise ship and they go see these beautiful places and things and excursions and whatnot, you got a lot of people that aren't exactly thinking clearly. On one end of the spectrum, they are in vacation mode, so that means they want to be happy all the time and carefree, and everything that they come in contact with is kind of hassle-free, just like the business model for a cruise ship. You take that cruise ship environment and mentality, you put it out into any of the ports of call, and you could have a situation where people just aren't really thinking, they aren't having any type of street smarts or common sense, and they end up making mistakes. On the other side of the spectrum here, you have a lot of people that feel like that they are Superman and Superwoman, and they have powers that, well, they can go do, in theory, anything. Jump off of a cliff, ride a super fast boat and drive it, even though they don't have a boat license, have never done such a thing, or if they're afraid of heights, they decide that now is the time to conquer that fear, and you have some people that get themselves in a lot of trouble that way. I do believe that in life you should experience things, enjoy the human experience, laugh, take risk, take chances, chances and do some things that you have never done before, especially when you're on a vacation and, well, you're places that you will maybe not go to ever again. However, that does not mean you get to act carelessly. If you see an animal over in any of these ports, I'm not saying that they're scary and you should just stay away, but you do have to proceed with caution. Maybe not get too close, talk to the handler and kind of get a feel for the animal. What doesn't he like? What does he like? What can we do for the photo op? Or you can go to an excursion where you actually have professional handlers of these exact locations and properties that know how to do these things right when it comes to the animals and the people that don't normally handle said animals. I would also like to add that sometimes, not every time, you do have some of these handlers literally exploiting the animals for a quick buck. You're willing to give them $100, they will allow you to do really anything as far as in terms of making a video or getting a cool photo op with said animal. You want to play keep away with a monkey, and next thing you know, he rips off your index finger, throws it in the tall grass, and you never see it again. That's why I do believe you should go to the proper handlers. That way you do have a safe and truly enjoyable experience without having to worry about something dangerous or crazy happening. All I'm saying is cruise and vacation responsibly. Animals are wild animals. Anything can happen at literally any point in time. You want to do some crazy excursion where you want to jump off a waterfall and you know damn well you can't swim. Unfortunately, there was a situation like that over in Jamaica. Passenger jumps in the water, can't swim. He ended up unfortunately drowning and losing his life. You don't want those things to happen. Remember, yes, enjoy your experience safely. Do some things you've never done before. However, you got to make sure that you are at least using your brain to some degree while you're on cruises, and don't just tune out because you want that, I don't know, you want to live in a world where everything is utopic and absolutely nothing can go wrong. That world does not exist. But of course, let me know your thoughts on this in this quick video in the comment section below. Hit that like button on your way out. Just know, as usual, I love and appreciate every single one of you, and well, I'll see you later. Take it easy.